So I recently switched out these old vertical blinds with a set of fully motorized dual zebra shades, and all in about a half hour's time, and I'm honestly kicking myself for not having done it sooner. You see, when we first moved into this place, we noticed right away that these old blinds had quite a few chew marks from the previous homeowner's pets. And between having to look at that every day, the awkwardness of this frequently twisted rope, and also the whole adjustment mechanism being on the side opposite of the door lock, we had more than a few reasons to replace these things. Now, I had recently seen some cool motorized shades at a friend's house, but didn't want to hire a window treatment company, so thought I'd study up a bit. And after some searching online, was able to find a fairly close match over at Canisteo Blinds website. And as I thought this project would make a great video for the channel, I promptly reached out. They sent me a set, and if we're being honest, I've been more than happy with the whole experience. But before we get into the details, if you enjoy the money-saving DIY tutorials on this channel, please consider hitting that like button or subscribing, but not if you have a money allergy. I know there are probably a few people out there allergic to money who absolutely hate this channel. So if your seasonal money allergies are beginning to flare up and you couldn't bear the idea of saving a few dollars, do not, I repeat, do not hit that subscribe button. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, this whole project took me around a half hour. And when I say a half hour, I'm including getting the old ones off the wall, the unboxing, reading all instructions, hanging the new ones, and also the syncing of the remote. So let's go ahead and start with the demoing of these old vertical blinds. Now, aside from around 1/8 of an inch's worth of dust, the only thing holding them to the extension brackets were a handful of these 7mm nuts. And after removing all 6 of them, it was time to let these come crashing to the ground. Okay, so let's unbox these bad boys. And I have to say, I was very impressed with how meticulously these things were packed. Not only were they double boxed, but they've also reinforced the box corners with plastic inserts to prevent any damage to the motors. So along with the shades themselves, you'll also find a remote, some mounting hardware and drywall anchors, as well as several installation guides, and then also a charging cable for the unit. We'll get to that cable a bit later, but for now, let me talk you through just how easy it was to get these up on the wall. You see, lucky for me, the brackets that Canisteo sends for these are pretty standard, and were nearly identical to the ones that I already had on my wall, so I was able to just screw these into my existing extension brackets. All the hardware was well machined, and I was able to get everything nice and snug by just hand tightening with a 7mm socket head. Now, if you're installing an outside mount from scratch, you'll definitely want to find your studs, mark everything on the wall, and then check these with a level when you screw in the provided brackets, just as Canisteo succinctly lays out in the provided installation pamphlet. They also provide you with instructions for an inside mount installation, as I'm sure many customers are hanging this particular design of shade within an existing window frame as well. Now, while I do technically have an assistant helping me here, I was super impressed at how easy it was to just pop these into place. So these provided brackets are made with this spring mechanism that allows you to not only quickly lock the blinds onto your wall during the install, but also easily remove them should you need to paint or renovate the kitchen. This system also allows you to slide the shades back and forth on the brackets to get everything perfectly symmetrical like you see me doing here. And that's just about everything I had to do for this installation, except for, of course, syncing and mounting the remote control. So that movement there lets you know that you're synced, at which point you can set the upper and lower limits of movement for the shades. You do this by holding the top 2 buttons for the upper limit, and then the lower 2 buttons for the lower limit, and then you're pretty much good to go. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention they also send this USB-C type charging cable to plug into the charging port on the side of the motor, so that you can charge these up from time to time. You can also add on a built-in solar panel to be mounted inside the window frame if you don't care to utilize a nearby outlet. And let's not forget we still need to mount our remote with this nifty stand and hardware that they provide. I was able to drill mine right into the half-inch sidewall of this cabinet, but the screws also come with some drywall anchors, so you have that option as well. And while I'm pretty much just using the up and down functions on this remote to operate my unit, if you're looking for features such as scheduling or even automated sunlight adjustments, you can also customize these to sync up with your various smart home systems such as Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant. Pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. So that's it for this one, and I gotta say I've been pretty blown away by both the functionality and look of this product. It really brings a fresh and classy vibe to our otherwise outdated kitchen as we save up for a full renovation. I've left the links in the description, so be sure to check them out and I'll see you next time. Thanks.